Abyssal corrosion syndrome. 500 years later, and it's resurfaced again.
Huh? That voice, it's...
Direct contact with high concentrations of abyssal power causes irreversible mental trauma in most people. Some will suffer from superficial hallucinations and maintain the capacity to perceive the outside world. In such cases, verbal and physical interaction can be used to break through the hallucination. However, there are also those who are so far gone, entrenched in hallucinations so deep, that medical intervention is the only option. That's why we developed the Drought.
The draft of lucidity?
It's a kind of medicine that can dispel the psychological impact of the abyss. The treatment comes with severe side effects, including chronic migraines for the rest of the patient's life. If you trust me to be true to my word, give him this.
Wretched monsters! Setting up an ambush! Give me your worst. It's either your end or mine! Hurry! He's awake!
Please, give him the draft. My son thinks he's alone in this world. In his mind, all his family and comrades are gone, and only enemies remain.
Monsters! Dad? My head hurts. I just had the strangest dream.
It's all right, my boy. It was just a nightmare. Let's go home. You need a good night's sleep. But first, I want to thank you for saving my son. May I ask your name?
For just Capitano is fine.
I owe you more than words can say, Mr. Capitano. My name is Mune. You're welcome in my home anytime. Time to go, son. Can you stand?
Thank goodness everything turned out all right.
Think nothing of it. I agreed to offer you my aid, so this is merely a part of that duty. Besides, I care deeply about this land.
Right! When we were with Moika, you told us you and your soldiers defended Natlan against the Abyss 500 years ago.
That's right. My desire to protect this nation remains unchanged. When my platoon arrived in Natlan 500 years ago, like you, we were true outlanders. But as time passed, I encountered the people of this land and witnessed their desperate struggle against the Abyss. Though many of the warriors were rash and inexperienced, they were steadfast in fierce regard for their own survival. Just as I fought for the glory of Conria, they fought for the survival of their nation. We happened to share a common enemy, so I decided to offer my aid. We fought side by side to the very end. I traveled to many places after that, but I never forgot this land. Even now, my work in Natlan remains unfinished. It may seem difficult to understand, but the reason is really quite simple. That name carries with it the glory of my homeland and the honor of Natlan. Yet...
But that's not your fault. The Abyss is way stronger than any of us imagined.
You need not comfort me. I am no longer who I once was. Let the events of the past continue to collect dust in the annals of history. I will continue to help Natlan in my own way.
Like, with a draft of lucidity? Who knew you could make medicine? Were you a doctor before?
The drought was Guthred's invention. He was a respected military doctor, as well as my trusted second-in-command. We faced a similar situation to what you witnessed today. The endless battles against the Abyss triggered delusions among the soldiers, to the point where some attempted to kill each other. In order to develop a treatment as fast as possible, Guthred used himself as a test subject. He passed away shortly after the drought was complete. That's who he was. Unrelenting in his pursuits. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. In the end, he even gave himself up for a chance at success. I'm sure he would be pleased his creation aids people even now. The Abyss has wrought enough suffering on this land. I sincerely hope this war will end soon.
Stop worrying about other people's survival, about their losses and sacrifices. You just need to win. That must be why I've returned. For this moment. Please finish what you set out to do, Commander.
You're more perceptive than I imagined. However, some things are better kept secret for now. We may be working together, but our goals are not entirely aligned.
What's with the secrets all of a sudden? I'm starting to think we should be more careful around you.
I do not mean to jeopardize the trust between us. I simply prefer to keep this to myself, because it's a personal matter. All I can tell you is this. Natlan may have survived the worst of the crisis, but the souls of this land are still not at peace. And that is why my work is not yet done.
Well, if it's personal, then we'll just have to trust you.
If you have other questions, I'm willing to answer them.
Wait, like, Paimon wants to know how you eat with the mask. Anything you want to ask, Traveler?
Natlan must pay the price for Mawika's use of the Ruler of Death's power. That price is death. And only Mawika's death can clear the debt. Even now that the war's over and the threat to Natlan is gone, it looks like that death is still set in stone.
In the garden cultivated by the gods, flowers and weeds grow side by side. When the weeds compete for nutrients in the soil, the gardener intervenes to inhibit their growth. I'm not one to pass judgment based on my own standard of right and wrong. But it is an undeniable fact that she is responsible for my suffering, as well as that of my people. If that explanation is too difficult to understand, allow me to show you exactly what I mean. The ruler of death can freely define the form of death, or grant immortality to anyone she desires. Her power is a rule in and of itself. Faced with such an overwhelming level of power, it can feel hopeless to resist. But I am of the belief that, in this world, no destiny is unchangeable, no death inevitable, and no rule unbreakable. So, before the final moment truly arrives, we must fight harder than ever.
Oh, did something...
This is a critical time for you, Traveler. It's best not to delay, so let us end our conversation for now. Best of luck to you all. Goodbye.
Part of the night! They just seem so tired, you know? Since they've both been alive for many centuries, do you think that's just what happens when you've been alive for too long? Chino Mualani? Woo! Everyone's here!
Reunited at last. Did you miss us?
I brought candy and cookies to share. Of course we...
Just in time, Traveler. It's so stifling in here. I was just about to go outside to get some air.
It's the same temperature outside. Anyway, how was the trip here?
To be honest, I also didn't expect this many people to show up. A third of this amount is more than enough for my plan. I need to ask them about you, gather their thoughts and hopes. That will help the formation of your ancient name. Oh, you brought the Pilgrim's Chronicle, right? Yeah, let me take a look. Okay. The progress looks good. We have enough people, so let's get started.
Sorry I'm late. Chaska showing up late for something? That's a first.
I had to follow a group of monsters further than expected. When I got back, I heard about what you did for my tribe. Thank you.
Okay, let's save the pleasantries for later. Everyone's here, so let's get started. All right, let me remind everyone what's going to happen. I need each of you to stand before the Pilgrim's Chronicle and share your stories about the Traveler. Your words will be recorded and become a part of the Traveler's ancient name. Any, questions?
Nope.
All right, then, to start things off...
Hold on. Remember what we discussed?
Oh, right, I almost forgot. Traveler, Paimon, you, can't be here for this part.
Huh? But why? We want to hear what everyone has to say.
I need people's true thoughts and feelings. It's best if the subject in question isn't involved. It's much more difficult to express those feelings to someone's face. People get shy in those situations. It's just how it is.
You're right. Just like when Paimon doesn't have enough more to pay for her meal, but she's too embarrassed to tell the traveler, so she has to make up some excuse. So basically, you want us to leave the Pilgrim's Chronicle here and wait nearby?
Oh, don't worry. This shouldn't take long.
Everything Shilonen said made sense, but did you see St. Lolly's reaction back there? She was definitely the one who decided we should leave. But staying out here is just making Paimon even more curious about what everyone's gonna say. Anyway, you're gonna have an ancient name soon. Ooh, that's so exciting! Feels like we've been in Natland for quite a while already, doesn't it? You're right! If only...
Well, looks like you're about to have that chance.
Shilonen, is everything all set?
Almost. We're just missing one last thing. You've been by the Traveler's side the longest, Paimon. We need to hear what you have to say.
But Paimon's not from Natland.
Oh, it doesn't matter. As a Traveler's companion, your contributions are extremely important. You're the perfect person to finish the story. Sorry, Traveler. I just need to borrow Paimon for a second. It should be quick. Paimon gave us a lot, and I mean a lot of information. I'm not even sure the Lord of the Night managed to get all of it.
Well, we've been to 6 nations already.
Here, you can have the Pilgrim's Chronicle back. I'll need it when I forge the name, but you can continue your adventures in the meantime. And when the time comes, I will forge you an ancient name unlike anything that's come before, so that you, Moika, and Natlan as a whole can
I take it you're...
Yep, and
Call me told...
so the dye is somewhere in this cave, huh?
This is as far as...
Why...
Kind of along many years ago. However, to bypass...
Oh!
The strange thing is, since it was sealed off, the only according to... But I digress.
So you're sure you...
I'll pass. I guess it...
Aw,
Don't worry. Unlike our...
fair enough. Looks like there's no way past. Maybe try the same thing as before? Hey, it worked! Let's head in and take a look. This should be the place. That fruit Toltec mentioned should be the one on the wall. Now, the only question is, which ones do we pick? Well, go...
Not too far now. Careful. Some Saurians like to hide in chests like this. Probably an introvert thing.
I knew you couldn't resist!
Here's the echoes of the valley! Right here!
Silence! The tides beckon. The night wind blows.
Not too far now. Time to say hello. treasure hunting is turning these chests into an endangered species. Be free! Farewell!
You saw something, right? Whatever it was, grab it! Remember the last? They probably used the same stuff for their paint. Yep, what? We're back, and we found the ingredients.
Sounds like it's getting late.
Toltec had...
Sure thing! Here.
I see.
Got it!
Please come with... Take a look at this. It's a woven scroll.
Ooh!
The person depicted is the... She was especially... This scroll is a record of her deeds, and was most likely the work of her own hand. The quality is simply breathtaking. Even... Sadly, since she passed away...
Nope,
Bring out the samples. Now, as I mentioned, the dyeing process is a little complicated, but I am confident you will manage. Just make sure the pattern has already been sketched out on the sample. So, you just need to dye each block with the correct color. But you'll need to wait for the dye to fully soak in between each step. Ha ha ha! Good! The dye has taken to the fabric, and the pattern is crisp and clear. Next, apply all the remaining dye, and we should see.
Okay, final step. Did it work? Paimon doesn't see it.
Oh, that color isn't showing up. Oh, the dyeing has failed. No, your technique was flawless. You did everything exactly as instructed. It would have made no difference if I'd done it myself.
Then what went wrong?
It could be the weaving technique. Or maybe the dye has to be applied in a different way. Oh, whatever the case. It looks like I have failed to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Sorry, Paimon wishes we could do more to help.
I am the one. I will, of course, honor my commitment to compensate you for your trouble, but I do hope you won't give up on this task.
Don't worry, we're not. Paimon does have a question. You said yourself you're all about change.
I think you've perhaps misunderstood my philosophy, but that's okay. I can answer your question, but there's somewhere I need to show you first.
Oh, sure.
this view.
It's good.
Now, try looking a little further.
Whoa, that graffiti!
In all the years since the founding of our tribe, those colors have been with us. It is true that I seek to bring new life to this ancient tribe through change and reform, the foremost of
Oh, that makes...
since the very... So?
You're completely...
It's quite all right.
Out of the way or get blown away!
Tell me what you see.
Settle down.
You can always tell which ones are ripe for the picking by the sound they make when you tap on them.